You're listening to Actors Endurance, a podcast that inspires actors to never give up on their passion and find ways to continue to grow within the entertainment industry. My name is Shanette Wilson, and I'm an actress, and my co-host is Marlon Hargrave, and he is a teaching artist. And together, we are Actors Endurance. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Actors Endurance Podcast. Now, today we have a special host. Go ahead and, he's special to me because, we're related, you know what I'm saying? Talent just happens to run in the family. I don't know what to say about that, but go ahead, Marlon, take it away.
All right. Yes. Welcome back to the number one podcast for the enduring actors out there. How are you guys doing? I'm Marlon Hargrave, joined by my co-host, Shanette, and we are very, 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 very proud to introduce our next guest. He's a songwriter, song publisher. He's an actor, model, a dad, a graduate of NYU, still training, still doing his thing. Let's introduce Sir Anthony Knight. How are you doing, brother? Great to see you again.
Hello. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great.
It's amazing to see you guys. I haven't seen you in a while, but it's definitely great to see you this way. Definitely.
Yes. And it's wild because when I don't see someone that I've trained in a class or something, when I don't see them, when I come back to them, I would hope that they had been working. That's just where I am with the whole thing. Yeah, it's a burden to have to come back after all that time, be like, what was you doing? I was chilling, working at Kroger. Like, what, man? Don't do that. Don't do that. But since I haven't seen you in a while, you've been very, very busy. But I will start off. We start off every question because this is Actors Endurance. We're gonna ask you,
Yes.
how do you endure, especially with this strike, especially just getting out of school? How do you endure as an artist?
Oof. That's endure is the actual proper verbiage. That's exactly what you need to survive in this industry. This is a historical time, the strike. COVID happened. There was a lot that happened when I first sought out as an actor through this process. It was nuts, pretty much, sort of like a fairy tale in a way, but also, there's a lot I had to endure and basically do a lot of audibles along the way. But I'm still here enduring and getting through it. When I first started acting, I was like, all right, I'm going to go to school for acting. I got accepted in NYU. That was great. And then boom, COVID hit, which was it was like I didn't know what the which way to take it. I'm like, is this the university way saying no, don't do no acting, let's just stop. But then roughly after that, they came out with online classes, so that just changed the game completely. Um, because I was able to do my schoolwork, also able to focus on filming, also focus on modeling, all at the same time, and being on the road traveling as well. So it sort of worked out. With this recent strike, I mean, we get it as actors. Anybody in the entertainment industry, we definitely understand. Hopefully, we can come to some agreement on both parts. Um, we've seen the numbers. We know what these executives make. We know what these companies make. We see the AI stuff and movie. I was just watching a movie the other day with like an AI audience, and I'm like, hold on, am I watching like a scene from like NBA 2K, or something, or am I watching like this is actual movie? So I definitely get what's going on with that situation, and you know, you have to have the endurance. You have to have the mental capacity, the mental ability to be able to be told no. Rejection is not always, the end of the world. It can redirect you to do other things. There's been projects I've been turned down for that I've got better opportunities with speaking roles, and it actually worked out. It's just you have to endure. You can't give up. You just got to keep going, relentless, and be passionate about it. Never let that bad moment knock that spark out of you.
Yes. That is so true. Yeah, when you stay focused on your dreams and you have a no quit attitude, you always seem to find a way to, like you said, audibles, you transition or find something new, but you always find a way when you have that spirit of just you're not gonna quit, you always find a way to do it, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking of which, how do you handle your rejection? I know, for me, I tell them just, I tell students, don't look back on it, just keep going forward and rely on your training. Don't don't rise to the moment, as the Washington Commanders defensive lineman
Yeah,
says. He
yeah.
says, you don't rise to the moment, you rely on your training. Is that true for you?
Oh man, that's so true. If it, honestly, if it wasn't for actors endurance, that I was having a big issue with me personally was having a big issue with just trying to understand the sides. They don't really give you much. They just want you to act a specific part. They don't really give you the scene and what the scene could possibly be. Honestly, working with actors endurance, you guys opened up this whole nother world for me. Not even in NYU, they went over it, but it wasn't as in detail and as in depth. How would we perceive? So when you're doing your auditions and everything, it's a lot easier to know what the script is about and what the scene calls for, the way to hit it the right way, the way to use the right verbiage, the way to use the right energy or lack of energy. Honestly, a lot of that definitely came from you guys. And honestly, that's what made me a booking magnet because before I was overanalyzing. Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys so much. I was overanalyzing before and I was just like, well, hold on, I had to slow it down and, doing a couple workshops, I realized that, okay, it's not, it's not just that, they thought the other person was younger or this person was better or that, it was just, maybe I didn't have it right. Maybe I could have done things differently. And once, working with the workshop, the actor endurance workshop, it put that thought process into me. Like before I used to be rejection, I'd be like, dang, oh man, I wish I could have done something, I could have, should have did this way, should have, would have, could have, instead of, oh, this is what I could have done differently. This is how I could have delivered that line. This is how I could have prepared for that. A lot of it's preparation. If you're reading from a paper trying to remember the sides, any director, anybody in film is going to pick that up. So, basically with basically with rejection in this industry, it's great, it's good for you, you need it, it's needed, it's very much needed. It's just to keep you in check personally, and it's growth. It's always, you can always think about what you could do differently. And if you don't think about it with like that perspective, like a closed mindset, like, oh, I'm good, I nailed that, I know the lines, that doesn't always, that doesn't always get you the role, and that doesn't do nothing for nobody. It defeats the purpose, of auditioning. The purpose of because being in that room in the studio, doing the casting with all the fixtures and everything going on in the background and trying to stay focused. It's basically what you deliver, to the table. And there's been situations where I didn't get the role that I wanted, but you got to make yourself memorable and make yourself noticeable. And one of the directors I was working with put me on another TV show that they were directing because they were like, you're a better fit with this TV show versus what we're trying to do over here. So it actually worked out pretty well. So redirection, you definitely, that's one big thing in this industry, in the entertainment industry, you're under a microscope. So you basically better get used to the, rejection. That's just going to happen. Nobody's perfect. Um, not every role's for everyone, and not everything can go your way, but it's okay. You're in the way doing it. You're in the actions of doing it. Eventually, that perfect role, that right role, everything's going to start working out as long as you do the work to go towards it.
Mhm. Yeah, that is so true. That is so true because everyone knows this. This is one of the toughest industries to break into. So you need to be prepared. You have to be prepared. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, like you can know people, but that doesn't mean nothing. At the end of the day, it's the executive producers it's the executive directors, it's you know, the casting directors. Those are the people that make the calls, you know. Luckily, I can say yes, there was a referral where I did get into that other show, but I still had to show up and do the audition as well, you know. So yeah, just because I knew the director that, you know, I've previously auditioned in front of before, I still had to show up and do the audition to get on that show, which is going to be coming out once all this situation with the strike stuff's going on is over, and I can reveal. Yeah, I'm under NDA right now, so but I can reveal obviously once it comes out.
Yeah, we look forward to seeing it for sure. For sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I know that you know you guys are family over here. You got any non? Well, no, you can do family questions. I mean, this is a whole nother kind of interview. So
Now
I'll
listen, our
leave it up
family's
to
crazy. Our family's crazy. We're gonna keep it that
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Our family crazy.
Well,
We're gonna keep it.
yeah, yeah,
We're gonna keep it professional. You know, we can
yeah,
go
yeah,
with
yeah,
cousins and aunties and all of that, but
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll
another
keep it
time. Yeah,
another time. Yeah, we'll do
yeah.
that class.
I would like to know
Sweet.
is how did you get into modeling? Because I've seen you've been everywhere. I wish I was out in California to support you, but you know, I'm supporting you wherever you're at, you know,
Yeah.
social media. But how did you get into modeling?
Honestly, I was doing a Lifetime movie, and one of the directors, Tom DiNucci, was like, "Oh, you walk like a model, like you just naturally walk like a model." And I'm like, "Oh, what are you talking about? I don't walk like a model." I'm like, you know, I'm like, I never. He's like, "Have you ever thought of modeling?" And I'm like, "No, I've never thought of modeling." So, he introduced me to one of his friends who was a designer, and comes to find out, I ended up walking for she's an international designer, but I ended up walking for her for my very first fashion show, which was New York Fashion Week at Runway 7, which is huge just to start out. You know, that's massive, like huge media coverage. You had Getty Images, um, you had all different types of magazines, Vogue, Allure, New York Fashion Week magazine, like a lot of big magazines and editorial companies to go with that. And ever since then, I've been on fire. I did a show out in Tennessee at Dollywood. I've done 3 shows in Miami for Swimwear Week. I did a fashion show out in Chicago. Um, I just did 7 shows for New York Fashion Week. I just did the LA Fashion Show, and I'm going to LA next week to do LA Fashion Week.
Okay.
And I
And
got a couple more going on before the year end. So, yeah, I've been like nuts with the fashion shows.
wonderful. And you know, your modeling took you to LA. Now I saw you on Instagram at a party, and who grabbed your phone?
Oh, Cardi B grabbed my phone. Yeah,
Ah, ah,
yeah.
You gotta hear this story.
Yeah, so it was crazy. I've been a big follower of Jason Lee for ever since he started. And I was, you know, I'm gaining traction, being more known in that industry, in the acting industry, modeling industry. And it was like, you know, he reached out to me and was like, "You're doing really good. You just came out of nowhere and you're killing it. And, you know, especially to be an older Black man, like you're really doing really well. And I'm really proud of you." And he was like, "I really want to invite you to my birthday party celebration." And I'm like, "All right." Yeah, I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, cool." And so happens I had a fashion show out in Pasadena um, at the time. So it was all right. You know, it's like, okay, I might as well do it while I'm in LA. It just happened to work out that way. So I ended up getting invited in. Walked on my way walking in. They were like, "Hold on, you don't need to wait in line. You just go right in." And I'm like, "That's weird." But I was on the VIP list. So I'm like, you know, it was humble, very humbling. But at the same time, I was like more starstruck than anything. And I came in and I did my red carpet poses and all that stuff. And then we went to the party. All of a sudden, I'm hanging out in a VIP, and there's so many actors, so many models, football players, basketball players in the event. And as soon as I turned around, I felt a tap on my shoulder. I turned around and it was Floyd Mayweather. I'm like, I never get starstruck. Like I've worked with a lot of stars, but I never get starstruck. But I did get starstruck because I'm like, this is the heavyweight champion of the world. Like probably possibly the greatest boxer of all time that's ever lived, right behind me, like literally hanging out right behind me. And then later on, as the party went, all of a sudden we heard everyone in the crowd just scream. I'm like, what is going on? And then the crowd's like following this one person, with the bodyguards and everybody up to VIP. And sure enough, it's Cardi B. And I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. Cardi B was there. Blueface and Krishan, Tiffany Haddish, who I actually had a great conversation with, met her. She's actually going to pick me up for one of her movies she's doing next year. So yeah, it's a lot of great things. A lot of great crazy things came out of that party. Just the networking and the connections, and I was just more shocked that people. I was like the smallest person in the room, but not really, because people noticed me. They knew who I was. They were talking about me. I got referred to a couple of New York Fashion Week shows I just recently did because of, meeting the right people, the right connections. So, honestly, I'm very humble, and still have a great connection with Jason Lee, because it was just like I started out pretty much as a fan. He's more of like TMZ, the media, but he's more for the African American and the diverse cultures, more so than the mainstream, the Taylor Swifts, and everybody else. But he does deal with a lot of those people as well. So it was just awesome just to be in that situation, in that space with all those people, and to be treated normal. Like, they didn't treat me like I was less than or anything. Uh, Tiffany Haddish just had a regular conversation with me. Michael Blackson is funny as hell. He's literally like 90% of the people are the same people they are on film or in person. Like, Cardi B is just Cardi B. Like, she's not faking. That's just who she is. Tiffany Haddish is definitely Tiffany Haddish. She's well spoken in her education, because she just went to Harvard too. So she's extremely educated and beyond the funniness, but she's hilarious. Like, it's hard to just have a conversation without laughing, because I'm thinking about a moment in the movie or stand up, that she's done. But it was that event was nuts, and a lot of great connections came out of it once again. And I'm very thankful that I had the opportunity, that Jason Lee thought a little of me. Like, I'm up and coming, but I'm not as hot as everyone else that was at that party, but it was definitely great to be in the same arena with those people and be treated equal. Like, no one treated me less than. It was just, I was supposed to be there. It was that, like, you were supposed to be there type of moment.
Perfect segue. Perfect segue. Because now I'm going to ask you, since you got the flick on, you're a little fire right now. Who would you like to work with after all of this murky strike crap is over with? Who would you like to work with? I'm going to say not even the most, but somebody that you've either dreamed of working with, or you're actually in line to work with, somebody that you may be looking forward to on some of your upcoming projects.
Secretly, I would love to work with definitely would love to work with Mel Gibson. He's legendary. He has a lot of great, impactful movies. I believe if I get in a movie like that, I could definitely make a lot of waves in the acting industry. I definitely really, really would love to work with probably my favorite of all time, and where I'm getting a lot of my angle in and now I'm moving, is from Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry, that would be like winning a Grammy to me, working with him, because not just for the clout, not just for the attention, more so that it's another Black successful business that's being ran. And I look forward to working for a company where I'm appreciated for who I am. They're not going to look at my color. It's not going to be like, I don't have to think about none of that stuff. It's a lot easier mentally on us, to work with a Tyler Perry. I would definitely bust my ass and work as hard as I could to be like a normal part of his cast. But that's definitely my dream. Like, I'm not even going to say my dream. I'm definitely going to work with him very shortly. It's coming.
You're in
It's
shape.
coming. I'm definitely, it's coming.
Tyler Perry things like that, I know that your body is together, so going ahead and get your baby oil together. You're working with Tyler. 'Cause you know he gonna have you half naked somewhere up in there. Shout out to Tyler, but hey, you know what? You gotta put black men on display. We're just as sexy as the rest of the world. I got it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, it's so funny thing, like everything, even with the modeling thing, like everything I do, they just want me with a shirt, no shirt, or a shirt or a pin, or like there's very few that I've done like clothed all the way.
You
Ladies
stay in
love
New
it.
York long.
The ladies
I'm
love
just
it.
cracking a joke. If you stay in New York long enough, you're gonna be like the naked cowboy down there on Times Square
Times
with your
Square on
hat.
42nd.
Yeah. Have your little speedos and some cowboy boots.
Walking around with my little hat.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Shanette.
Oh no, I'm just saying you got to give the ladies what they want, you know. So hey, just stay in shape. That's all. Let's just stay
Not
in
just
shape.
that, it's an honor. Like Marlon can definitely understand. Like for an older black man to have a good physique and be in shape and not be sort of subdued by sodium and high blood pressure and cholesterol, all those other things with a lot of, demographically points towards us. That's a blessing in itself to be mobile, being able to keep in shape, stay in shape. And that's a whole nother mindset in itself, especially at an older age, because it's not as easy to gain and bulk up. It's something you got to maintain more so, just like acting. It's no different from doing a script. You got to keep practicing, keep practicing, keep practicing. It's never going to be 100% right. And it's the way you got to treat your body.
Yeah, that is so true. So true.
Yeah, we had somebody on last week. We were emphasizing that, especially as a stage actor, what I like to do is as soon as I get with a stage play, I definitely eat better or I eat different because the energy is different, and I realize that there's a certain amount of shape that I have to be in, and I think that a lot of actors don't understand that's a part of it. But another
Yeah.
skill to have, that segues into being able to be a model. And actually, even in the singing and all of that, you still have to keep your vocal cords clear of mucus and things like that. So um, we really didn't get into the singing aspect. We may have to have you back on for a part two because you are multi-talented. You're still in school, which I always employ. If you can go to school to enhance your career, then do that. So you went
Yeah.
to acting school, you graduated from Tisch, but you're in school again, right?
Yes, yes. I'm in Harvard Business School right now. Yep. Yep.
Nice.
Nice.
I got accepted through placement testing and also a referral from my professor. I mean, my dean and professor, one of my professors at NYU. So definitely honored to be in Harvard Business School. And basically, with that angle of it is more the business of the entertainment industry, is where I'm going with that. I'm doing all the accolades and credits for myself. And then eventually I'm going to have my own production company, my own talent agency. So I'll be able to do like Tyler Perry does, or, Adam Sandler, or, many other Oprah, many other great, I want to say actorpreneurs, if that's the proper verbiage to use, the
Like that.
actorpreneurs. Yeah. So that's basically where I want to go with that. And, you know, I've been in business in my back half of my life. I was an executive field leader for Lazadica, which is like Sunglass Hut, Allure, Shops of Aspen. So I sort of had a connection already in the fashion industry. Sort of been always behind the scenes in a way, but now more on the scene. So it's more about, building the credibility. So whenever I do get my own talent agency, people won't think twice about signing with me. They'll be like, he knows what he's doing, he has the right connections. How could he help me out? Okay, well, he could help me out by doing X, Y, and Z. Also, he's educated and has the proper, hardware to go with everything that he's trying to do.
Okay, that's wonderful. And I have to ask you about War. Tell us about the War clothing line.
Oh my God, it's amazing. Some very talented brother from out in Atlanta. His name is the clothing lane name is Enigmatic Living,
Okay.
and it's War on Authenticity. That's what WAR stands for. War
Yeah.
on Authenticity. And basically, you know, a lot of people have an identity crisis right now. A lot of people in America in particular are having an identity crisis on who they want to be, what they want to be, who they want to do, what they want to do. You know, there's too much question about it. And no matter what you want to do, no matter who you want to be, it's better just to be yourself. Honestly, my biggest success in all of everything I've been doing is by being myself. I never did an audition trying to be Denzel. I never did a catwalk trying to be Tyson Beckford. You know, I've always was myself, and that's what the industry appreciates more so is that you are yourself, your individuality. Yes, you can have multiple different talents, different languages you use, even different accents and different ways you speak. But as long as you're genuine in yourself, that's the key to success in the entertainment industry. I believe. I look at some of the most big highest paid people in the industry are uniquely themselves. Eventually, there's someone trying to be like someone else. They eventually run out. You know, they're hot for a minute, but then they die down because they're not authentic. And that's what that brand is about, just being authentically who you are as a person and, you know, not being the typical stereotype or the typical pigeonhole that society puts on people in general. Um, So that brand has it, and now I'm the face of the brand too. So it sort of has a double meaning for me personally because for him to think of me, you know, I'm older, I'm knocking at 40 years old, and not too old, but you know, I'm seasoned, you know, and for him, you know, out of all the other models we worked with, to have you know me as the face of the group, I mean, the face of the brand, that's huge, you know, and a lot of it was because he's like, I love how you don't put filters on your Instagram, you're authentically you, you don't do any crazy enhancements or anything, you don't flex, you don't like take pictures of many celebrities like I could, but I don't because it's more for me, my personal like self-satisfaction versus showing it to the world. Some things, there's some events and movies and things and people I've met that I haven't even talked about because it's more just like one of those aha moments. Like, for example, when I do meet Tyler Perry and work for Tyler Perry, I'm not going to talk about it right away. It's going to be a later on type of thing, you know what I mean? It's more of just embracing and enjoying that moment, you know, being in that moment, you know.
Yeah.
But I also with social media, it's tricky because now you know they're looking at me as a creator now, and I'm like, oh, I'm not really a creator. I'm just someone that posts with a purpose. A lot of people, you know, post a whole bunch of stuff. I post with a purpose. The whole purpose of my social media is marketing myself. Facebook I use for marketing to my family, what I'm doing, and friends, and Instagram's for the world. You know, I have way more. I have like almost, I think 65,000 followers on Instagram, and a lot of like celebrities, a lot of people that look out for me. I get paid for streaming. I get paid for comments and likes, all that stuff. So that's cool and all, but I just now it's like part of the. I didn't expect this acting and modeling. Now it's another part of you know revenue, another stream of revenue. Should I look at it that way more so than anything? But now I'm like more obligated. Okay, now I have to post something here and then just to keep the audience engaged, you know. And honestly, that helps out a lot with booking roles as well, because you know, of the director seeing like, wow, he can market himself like that. Just imagine what he could do with our clothing line, what he could do with our movie, and that's how that endorsement came along with War because I built my social media platform based off of being authentic, like just being myself, sharing quotes that, you know, hit home to the heart, sharing some of the stuff I did acting, some of the stuff I did modeling, but mainly just sharing the raw things, like me actually being me actually not shaved and makeup and, you know, just being authentic. And that's why he picked me for that brand. And it was awesome because that's what I want. Um, my biggest takeaway, that's what I want to be remembered for. One of the biggest things is by being myself. Like, I don't want to be remembered for really too many other things because it's so easy to get pigeonholed in Hollywood. I just want to be remembered for being authentic, being
My
genuine.
acting teachers, Oh, sorry to cut you off. My acting teacher used to always say, "You're way more interesting than the person you're trying to be." And
Yeah.
with that said, we're rolling up on it's a quick half an hour. Sorry, guys. I know
No, we're vibing. It's a whole vibe.
don't worry about it. We're gonna bring you back on for part two, but we're gonna get into our martini round. And anybody in the business, y'all already know what the martini shot thing is all about. But I'm gonna have Cuzzo do this one. Do you want to do this one,
Yeah,
Shanette?
yeah, of course, of course, of course.
All right.
Hey man, this has been an amazing interview. We're so happy that you were able to come on to the show
Thank you
today.
guys for having me. And this in itself is polarizing. It's definitely polarizing. It's like one of the biggest I'd say attributes to my success in the acting, even in modeling, because a lot of this stuff is mindset. It's the same thing. We have scripts. It's just fully understanding what the director wants, what that writer wants, what that scene wants. And you guys definitely opened my eyes up. Was like, Eureka. And I'm very, very thankful for both of you.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh,
And
thank you.
cousin, listen, you spoke a lot of things into existence today. So when they say when two or more come together, now we got three today. So you spoke a lot of things
Yeah,
into existence. I
definitely.
guarantee you, by next year, all the things that you said are gonna come true. I already see it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you,
I
thank you.
confirm. So mote
Yeah,
it is. So mote
Mm-hmm.
it is. So mote it is.
Yes, we're gonna put Newport on
yes,
the map, huh?
yes, yes. We have to.
All right. So we're gonna go into the martini round. So I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, and just one or two word questions. And whatever comes to mind. You know.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's cool.
All right.
I'm
So,
ready.
all right. And 3, 2, 1. What's your favorite smell?
Strawberries,
Your favorite vacation spot?
Miami,
Cats or dogs?
cats,
What is your favorite shoe? Your go-to shoe?
Ferragamo,
Ooh. And your favorite time of year?
fall.
All right.
Okay. Nice.
Fashion model makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
fall too, because why I like fall is because you can literally go through your whole entire wardrobe in 1 week. You can go to the point where it's like, well, it's warm, you can have shorts on, then you're wearing a hoodie, then you could go to wearing a winter coat. So
That's
there's
so
different levels, different levels. You can go through your entire wardrobe in 1 week.
that is so
Excellent, excellent. Well, again, we thank you for joining Actors Endurance podcast. Wow, yeah, and we wanted you on early. Definitely catching you before you blow up, blow up, blow up, because you're
Yeah,
already
yeah.
on fire. Yeah, you're looking like Johnny Blaze does over here. So
Thank you, thank you,
keep
thank
it
you.
torching.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, we appreciate you.
all
Thank you
right.
for having me. Definitely a pleasure. Like I said, this is polarizing. It's almost surreal. It's like, the student is, looking, when I first started out with this, it was just like, I'm like, darn, I want to be on one of those interviews one of these days. I didn't do enough work. I got to get to the point, and now I'm here. So it's like, I got to pinch myself. Is this real? Like, but thank you guys for the opportunity. Definitely appreciate it.
Oh, for sure. Thanks for having you on. Thanks for coming to the show. And yeah, we look forward to watching you grow even more.
Yeah, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Actors Endurance, y'all. We up out of here.
Yeah.
See you guys later.